Our next guest is a professor, performer, and professional feminist. Drawing from her personal experience and her academic training, she facilitates conversations about gender, sex, and pop culture. She is the host of the monthly showcase Feminist Happy Hour and Slut Talk, a sex-positive storytelling series and Q&A. You can follow her on the internet by looking for her name, which is Alicia Swiz.
Jam off this stand right here that is just making a mockery of me, basically. And I'm wearing my tallest shoes. So rude. No? Tough crowd. Hi guys. I'm Alicia Swiz. Welcome to my show. Just kidding. Give it up for everyone who's read so far. This show is rad, right? I was like, hot leaf. I don't drink beer. Just kidding. I have a gin and tonic. Don't worry. They have full booze. Everyone, tip your bartender. She's lovely. I know her. I'm really excited to be here. I'm going to go off book. Whoa, hey, welcome to the party. As I was introduced, I run a show called Slut Talk, and this is kind of thing I do there, which is kind of talk about being slutty, which is basically just being a woman most of the time in America. I haven't ever lived in another country, but I'm guessing it's basically the same there too. So something happened today to trigger this. This was not the plan. I actually watched Grease 2 twice to prepare for this show. So not to toot my own horn, but I would love if you come to Feminist Happy Hour and listen to that piece, because it's a good one. Or I'll come back. I'd love to come. Thank you, I'd love to come back. So here we go. Today, I have a little notebook just in case. Old school, what? Believe it or not, I'm in my late 30s. Can you believe it? No way. All right. Again, tough crowd, all right. I'll focus this way. So, I don't have my timer on, so I'll get a light, right? This is whimsical, y'all, you know? Today's August 1st, right? What? It's the first of the month. Wake up, get up. No? Thumbs in harmony? Who's with me? Thank you. I mean, you know, my brother calls me almost every month singing that song. I don't know why. I wasn't, like, brave enough to sing it loud again. There's a lot of lights in here. I do my shows in dark bars. And so, here's the thing. I started this year with a breakup, which was awesome. Like, literally, I got dumped on New Year's Eve. Well, like January 1st-ish. We were on a trip, so that always makes it extra fun, you know, when you're like trapped in the same room with the person. Which is how I imagine like marriage or living with someone would be, but come on, have I done that? Look at these tattoos. So anyway, today's August 1st. Hey, look at how I did that. The 8th month of the year. And I got a text from this guy today. We'll get to it. Yeah, hey, I got 12 minutes, so maybe like 11, 10-ish now. And it got me thinking about the 7 stages of grief, you know, because there's like 7 of them. And I was like, hey, maybe I was up until today in the text, I was like in, like past 7, it's 8, it's the first of the month, rent's due, my heart is ready to go anew. That rhymed and I did not even plan it. Okay. This is going great. So, not to brag or anything, but we met on Tinder. So, as you can imagine. But seriously, no. People like meet on the internet and get married. It can happen. It's so funny. Y'all laughed because you get it. You're all on Tinder. I've seen at least a couple of you. I used to live like 2 blocks away. Alright, so we were in New Orleans for New Year's Eve. I don't recommend it. And not just because I got like my heart broken into a million pieces, but because New Orleans is amazing. New Year's Eve is terrible. No matter where you are, you're in the same predicament. You know, like I don't want to drive, I don't want to be on the streets. Which bar do I go to? We pay a cover to get in all night. You know, should we go to the nice restaurant and then the shitty bar, the shitty restaurant, and the nice bar, right? Am I, no? Okay, so I'm really into audience participation. So just let me hear it, even if you don't like it. Actually, if you don't like it, just leave. So yeah, that is what happened. And then I So we were there for New Year's Eve because we met on Tinder, and he lives in California, very glamorous. Like I said, he was on tour with the Goo Goo Dolls. Hi. And I know you're laughing like I was because you're like, who the fuck is still paying to see the Goo Goo Dolls? Let me tell you who. I can't because it would be sexist, and I don't like to do that to my gender. But lots of ladies were living the 90s, okay? Which, hey, I am fine with. Listen, I was there the first time, like original. Middle school and high school. I got to see it all, you know? Also, like, side note, the Goo Goo Dolls are like one of those bands. I saw them at Sunfest in like 2002, which is in basically my hometown. I went to high school in Florida. It's a whole other story. And they're one of those bands that you're like, oh, fucking the Goo Goo Dolls, you know, they had that dumb song, you know, and then you're like at the concert with your brother on Flagler, which is right on the Intercoastal, and you're like 4 like bug margarita cans in, and you're like, oh my god, I totally forgot the Goo Goo Dolls sang this song. This is my favorite song. Why don't you slide? And I was a jammer. So yeah, he wasn't in the band or anything, you guys. He did merch. Oh. Yeah, hey, it's a great guy to know. You get all the perks. All the perks without the groupies. I mean roadies, I mean band-aids, whatever. Feminism. It's distracting because I still date men, you know, so sometimes the feminism isn't right at, you get it. God, I'm so glad you're here. Making the eye contact. I was like, wow, this show's really crowded. Into it, yes. Okay, so back to the Goo Goo Dolls. No, just kidding. We can move on for that. So we're in New Orleans for New Year's Eve for the like couple of days. It wasn't just for New Year's Eve. It was fun. It was fine until like New Year's Eve, and we're at the bar, and like you know we're already kind of drunk, and I'm like you know you seem a little distant. Whatever, he's not feeling it. Like, I'm not gonna get into his whole personal history, which is what we spent most of the time talking about, but I will let you know this. I was like, can I get another round of hurricanes? And then I got my ass drunk on New Year's Eve in New Orleans on this fucker's dime, because what the hell else are you gonna do? And let me tell you, don't make me get into the gender pay gap and have to explain to you as a sidebar why it is okay to let men pay. If you need me to explain it to you, ladies, happily. If you need me to explain it to you, men, ladies, don't go out with any of these men. Yeah, you should be laughing. I see a couple guys not laughing, so I'll let you ladies know which one they were. Okay. So there we were at the airport on January 1st, and that was the last time I saw him. Crying, he left me crying into my mimosa. But whatever, I had a mimosa, so that was it. So January 1st, shock and denial. How much time, where am I at time-wise? 5-ish? No one's timing me? No, 5-ish? Great, feels great to me. Trust me, I don't like when people, I read the email. It had a big word that I was like, that's the word I read more than I say, so I'm not gonna say it. Shock and denial, totally. Spent January here in Chicago. January in Chicago, Remember, these were the months that I was gonna be like all like in a lovely long distance relationship. So it was like totally cool to stay home and FaceTime and like have phone sex with like your hot boyfriend who lives in LA that you're gonna see in like 3 months, which was like perfect timing because I gotta fucking teach my classes and do my feminist shit, and I'll see you in 3 months for spring break, boy. Palm Springs sounds lovely. Incorrect. That is not the way this little cute little story went. Shock and denial. Spent most of January in a state of what we now call, thanks to Teen Vogue, emotional labor. Maybe you've been on the internet lately. Yeah, we're really catching up. Ladies, no? If you're shaking your head, definitely need to come to Feminist Happy Hour. We spent a lot of that month talking about the things that I did to trigger his lack of interest in me overnight. So that seemed like a good way to spend the time for me. But again, it was winter in Chicago, what do you do? And now, thanks to the internet, I know, shock and denial. So there I was just thinking, I can talk him into it, you know? I can make you, no, it goes, I can't make you. Those are the words, Alicia. I can't make you love me. Okay, got it. February, pain and guilt, right? Like, oh, right. You should never tell a guy that you're in love with that you love him, especially when you're in a distant city drinking 24 hours a day and he's just bought you vintage lingerie. That is like crazy, you fucking psycho, you psycho bitch. You met on the internet. What the hell were you thinking? Oh my God, how long were you guys together? Like 3 months and you only saw each other twice? Like, what did you think was going to happen? You slut. You little fucking slut. I mean, you got a vacation out of it, right? Didn't you just say you got cute underwear? I don't even know what you're complaining about. I mean, it's all your fault anyway. Did I mention the tattoos? So, did I mention that February was pain and guilt? Did I say that before I went? Okay. Like, didn't know if I mentioned that before. I just went right into it. So, okay, you know. March. Anger and bargaining. Now, at this point, February, there was a little talk. There was some emotional talk. Initially, in the original series, there was supposed to be a trip in February. That clearly wasn't, happening. So March is anger and bargaining. So the anger was mostly like, a personal investment with myself and the lingerie he bought me and my vibrator. Like, there was a lot of angry masturbating, which I totally recommend because the guy's not there to further piss you off, and you get to have your whole, like, emotional response with it. I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy. I don't fucking know why, this guy, but you just Google his name and every picture is hot. So that's... who the fuck needs porn? I'm amazed by the people that spend money on porn. Like, it's called the internet. We all have it, even the children. They're all looking at the real porn. That they're not in. Ooh, dark, but true. Anyway, back to Tom Hardy in the Google image search. It's mostly just him with an adorable part and like a bow tie. It's not even like aggressively violent or anything. Bargaining. There were some texts in March, some drunk texts from Chicago. Because his birthday was coming up in April, and I was like totally talking myself into the fact that, like, you're 38 years old, you deserve to have a fling. Why did you have to go and fuck it up and love him? You probably don't even. I mean, come on. This is also the time I started having sex with a 23-year-old bartender. I mean, the drinks in Chicago are expensive. Listen to me. If you were gonna have a fling and fuck around, especially with someone younger than you, bartender or shoe salesman, like, hands down, yeah? If the shit don't fit, you can just take it back and get your size, girl. Trust me. Okay, no, I'm from New Jersey. So anyway, the hot sex with the 23-year-old bartender, who was also very hot. When you're 38 and they're 23, they're just fucking hot, and men know this, right? You guys, like, have you seen a movie lately, or, I don't know, half this room? Anyway, so depression and loneliness was April's big theme, and that was about right, because we didn't go to Hawaii, and the whole trying to be cute texting, let me get some more lingerie and a vacation out of this, like, that's not where my heart is ever in my whole life. Like, ever since my first boyfriend made me a mixtape, like, I still think of him. Like, he's married, which is fine. Anyway, so June, reconstruction, working through. I was in a good place. We hadn't talked. There was a picture on the internet. He's not on Instagram, God bless. Like, praise Jesus, date people who are not on the internet, especially if you're, like, on the internet, which I'm a little public, as he liked to call it. Reconstruction, working through, and that's when those things come up, like the memories of, like, the things you didn't want to do, like have period sex. Please. Ladies, again, if he won't fuck you while you're bleeding, I mean, I can't, there are so many words that want to come out of my mouth right now. Just know. If you're not into it, totally cool. Like, then that's your thing. But make sure it's not that you're not into it. It's just that he's not into it, and you think you're not into it because he's not into it, and you don't want him to dump you. Because trust me, when a guy goes down on you when you're on your period, that shit is awesome. And it took me like 35 years to realize that. Yeah, I mean, some of you might still need to get there. So peace be with you. Anyway, so it was a photo of his car, a fucking vintage, awesome, rad car that I got to drive, by the way, because like you just let anyone drive your vintage car? No. I rolled a stop sign and almost got us killed, but it was awesome. July, acceptance and hope. Hadn't talked to him. Like, finally at the place where like everyone tells you to be when you're a woman who openly admits you want to be in a relationship. Like, just stop looking. Like, just live your life. Just really invest in you. Like, I don't know if you guys heard, but fucking feminist who runs a show called Slut Talk. You think the dudes are banging my door down? They are not. Incorrect. Feminism does not get you paid or laid. So trust me, I am committed to me. I know this. August fucking 1st. Here it is. The 8th month. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the reason I know he didn't like to have period sex, because I got my period when we were on New Orleans. Because guess what? It's the first of the month and it works that way. Basically. 28, 30-ish days, whatever. He sent me a text today. Hi. Well, here's where I was at fucking work, and I'm a bartender, by the way, so it's not like I'm all, sure, let me text you while I'm making 3 fucking drinks. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Should I text him back?
Yes. No.
Don't.